Take it all in. It is Game 3 of the World Series. The potentially decisive Game 3 of the World Series. Between the Melonheads and the Angels. Melonheads are the road team this time. And let's see how well they can do here in Game 3. Ichiro leaning it off for the Melonheads. Ground ball right to the shortstop. Throws over to first. Not in time. You got to have a really good shortstop or third baseman to be able to throw Ichiro out there. Dante Robinson. There goes Ichiro. Ichiro steals second. There goes Ichiro. He steals third. The positive side is now there's 2 strikes on Dante. Fouls it off. Fouls another one off. Just having a hard time keeping that one fair. Ground ball to the shortstop. Ichiro gets him to throw home, and Dante goes to second again. Do not change the channel. You are not seeing twice. That is the same thing that happened last game. Here comes Sosa. Still waiting for his big hit in the playoffs. Swings through it, strike one. Ball 2. Sosa rips that center field, caught. And Ichiro's going to score. But they hold Dante to second. Up next is Jim Thome. Ball 1. There goes Dante. Dante steals third. He gets the third anyway. Thome pops it up. And it's going to drop. And so Tome's going to get to second. And that is a big, big error. Because that brings up Gomo Arigato. Strike one. He's swinging. It's a heavy swing right there. Pops it up. Deep center field. And that's going to score Dante on the sac fly. Thome stays at second. But they score a second run. Ahmed Khan is up next. Swings just ahead of the curveball. Pops it up in foul territory. And he's there to make the catch. So not quite the perfect first inning the Melonheads wanted, but they scored 2. Off of 2 hits and the big error from their pitcher on the pop fly from Thome. Pedro on the mound for the Angels. For the Melonheads. Angels have kind of figured out how to hit off of him, especially the top part of the lineup. Ground ball back to Pedro for the first out of this World Series game. Right field, Ahmed gets it. Throws it in. That's a base hit. Dante wasn't quite quick enough off the bat to get that one. Must be expecting a steal here. Ball 2. There he goes, and he steals it comfortably. Counts 2-1. Fly ball deep left field. Sosa lays out for it. Can't get it. The throw goes home. And Ichiro guns him out at home. Ichiro says, "Cut off, man. I don't know what you're talking about." But throws him out at the plate. And that is a big out for both teams there. That ball blasted into center field. And it is gone. A 2-run home run. It makes that throw out at home all more important. because now the game is only tied. And that was a nightmare of the Melonheads fans, is a home run off of Pedro Martinez. And that ties it up 2-2. Fly ball left field again. Sosa lays out for it again. Not in time. Ichiro gets it. They're not going to test his arm this time. It's only a single. This is exactly how the Angels wanted their first inning to go. Shaking off Pedro Martinez's confidence. Try to get in a different pitcher to come in. Sosa throws it home for some reason. And they're going to leave the Melonheads with a potential tough decision in terms of their pitcher. Ahmed comes in quickly, throws him out at first, and that will end the inning as they keep it tied. So the Melonheads, 2 errors to their name, and the Angels scored 2 runs on 3 hits, including the 2-run home run to tie it up. 7-8-9 due up for the Melonheads. Mike Piazza, who smacks this to right field, but it is caught. Tony Del Vecchio, the hero of Game 2. Does he have another one in him? No. Fly ball center field. Pedro smacks that to the shortstop. Can he beat it out? No. And that ends the inning. And so the Melonheads send Pedro back out on the mound here for the second inning. But you have to imagine that if he struggles again this inning, he's probably done. Ground ball, second base. Dante dives! I didn't mean to dive. I hit the X button by mistake. He's aboard on the base hit. Steals second. Piazza with the throw! Not in time! That was an awfully close steal at second. Piazza wanted it. Piazza wanted it, Dante wanted it, Pedro wanted it, but they don't get the out. And the bunt. Not a good enough bunt as the runner's thrown out at first, but the runner stays at second. And Abwanza has Pedro's number. Ichiro can't make the catch! And hopefully that doesn't turn out to be a big error for the Melonheads. Angels definitely did their scouting on Pedro. They've been hitting off of him fairly well these past 2 games. Making him earn it. Strike 1. Fly ball left field. Sosa makes the catch. Two outs, 2 on. That ball is blasted. And that's going to score a run. And so the question is, do they leave Pedro in? And they're going to leave him in against Ernie Steele, who had the home run earlier. You got to think this is Pedro's last batter. 2-0. Not a great start. Strike 1. Gets the high strike call. Ball 3. And the last thing you want to do is walk the bases loaded. Gets a strike 2 call. It's 3-2. Strike 3. Gets out of the inning. So the Angels score 1. Take the lead at 3-2. Melonheads come up to bat with the top of the order up. Ichiro, Dante, Sosa. Ichiro leading it off. Take strike 1 on a high curveball. Ground ball, third baseman cuts it off, throws. In time! Gets Ichiro! Dante Robinson up next. Ground ball right down the line, but foul. Swings through it for strike 2. Diving catch by the third baseman to get Dante. Sammy Sosa up next. What a time for him to show up this would be. Swings through strike 2. He's down 0-2. Fly ball center field at the wall. Caught.
We go to the bottom of the third with the score: the Angels 3, the Melonheads 2.
So heading to the bottom of the third, the Angels lead 3-2. And we are going to see a new pitcher on the mound for the Melonheads. Pedro Martinez has been fantastic all of playoffs. But they're going to go ahead and bring Sammy Sosa in to pitch, who was their better pitcher through the regular season, but has not needed to be used here in the playoffs. Just misses the changeup. Gets the slow-mo pitch for strike 3. Sosa comes in and gets 1 strikeout off of his first batter. Melonhead fans want to see a lot of that. Pedro dives for it, but can't get it. Ichiro trying to bait the runner into going to second, but it's not going to work. And the sonic boom. Delvecchio will come in to get it. Runner on first and second, 1 out now. Ball 1. Strike. Gets the call on the low changeup. Strike 2. Gets him swinging. He hits it! Wow. Hit it on the second swing, but Sosa gets the second out. I didn't know you could do that on the freeze ball. Strike 1. Sosa just an out away from getting out of the inning. Strike 2. Strike 3! Gets out of the inning. So Sosa comes in and shuts the Angels down in the third inning. But the Melonheads still trail by 1 run, and you knew the Angels were not going to make it easy on the Melonheads. They were not going to go down 3-0 and lose this World Series that easily. So halfway through the game, it's a 1-run game. Melonhead bats have gone ice cold. Tomei lifts that to right field. Caught. The power bats just have not been there for the Melonheads. Gomo takes. Swings, fly ball, center field. Caught. Ahmed Khan launches that to left field. Right at him, though. And the Melonheads come up empty for another inning. So the Melonheads 6 outs away from losing Game 3. Down 1 here in the bottom of the 4th still. Sosa looking for a quick, clean inning to get his bats back up. And so watching this game, you certainly hope that the Melonheads haven't thought too far ahead. Hopefully they haven't started planning any trophy ceremonies or anything yet. Fly ball, center field, Ichiro on the run, makes the catch. It certainly is nice having a guy like Ichiro out in center field, who's already saved a run this game. Otherwise, it could potentially be 4-2.
The pitcher gets set.
Fly ball, shortstop. Pedro makes the catch. And Sosa does exactly what he needs to and gets a quick, clean inning.
Score is the Angels 3, the Melonheads.
With 2 innings remaining. The Melonheads down 1. They've got 7, 8, 9 coming up. So that 6th inning, if they don't get anything here, could potentially be exciting.
Stepping up to the plate,
Mike Piazza leading this inning off.
in.
Swings past the screwball, strike 1.
Pitch.
Ball 1. Any base runner counts. 2-1, and it looks like they've taken that advice to heart. Piazza being patient. 3-1 the count.
The count goes
Might be a rare red light with 3-1 for Piazza here. And he draws the walk. Piazza is aboard.
at bat now. We've got Tony Del.
Tony Del Vecchio up now, who takes strike 1.
This pitcher's got the batter guessing out there, folks.
Piazza on the move.
Steady.
He's there. Piazza steals second base. Del Vecchio, ground ball. And he is thrown out. Piazza trying to get the pitcher to look his way.
Pedro Martinez.
Unsuccessfully, though. Pedro Martinez up next.
Here it comes.
But Piazza's stolen base all but assures that Ichiro will get to come up this inning. Ground ball up the middle. And Piazza makes it to third.
Tosses it to second.
And Pedro is going to take second base. That's the magic they were trying to work.
Ichiro.
Ichiro up next. So they definitely need a base hit here.
Wind up at the
Ground ball.
Gets to it.
And they throw home, and Ichiro is aboard.
Dante Roberts.
Dante Robinson up. Bases loaded. 1 out.
The pitch.
Swings through it for strike 1.
Needs to set up with a couple of slow ones outside to make the heater look even hotter.
Huge fly ball. Go back. Oh my gosh, go back.
The catch. Now that will retire the side.
I started mashing the back button as soon as that ball was hit. And the Angels get a huge double play.
The bottom of the 5th with our score, the Angels 3, the Melonheads 2.
And the Melonheads squander a huge opportunity there in the 5th.
Stepping up to the plate, Ernie Steele.
Here's a kid with a great presence at the plate. Always keeps a favorite gift tucked away in the back pocket.
Pitch. Here's the
So now the Melonheads got to regroup, get 3 outs here, and then try to score 1 run in the top part of the inning. Pedro dives, not in time. And Ernie's aboard with a single there.
settling into the box is Arlene Perez.
This batter has a unique stance at the plate.
And they're going to look to pick off Ernie, and they do pick off Ernie! Oh, Ernie, you can't get picked off there.
Here's the one.
Can't give them any type of momentum here.
That's the ball.
Ball just outside on the curveball.
The delivery. The pitcher gets set. Pitch.
Ground ball, shortstop, right to Pedro, over to first,
Scoops it.
gets the out.
Nobody on. 2 outs here in the 5th. Pitch.
Strike 1 from Sosa, trying to end this inning right here.
Down today. Completely color.
Strike 2.
The delivery.
On the slow-mo ball, strike 3, and gets out of the inning.
Couldn't hold on to it.
And so we head to the final inning.
Here with a score, the Angels
Melonheads need 1,
Melonheads 2.
and they have Sosa, Tomei, and Gato. These are probably the 3 guys they want to have up in this case. You might like to have Ichiro just because he's an on-base king, but these are the 3 guys that can tie the game in one swing.
Sammy Sosa.
What a huge opportunity for either of these guys to show up. And Sosa launches it! Deep left field! Right field, I mean! It's off the fence. Sosa tries around second, heading to third, and Sosa comes in at the greatest time with a no-out triple to get Tomei up. Runner on third. The tying run on third. Tomei is the go-ahead run now. Take strike one. 1-1. Swings past strike two. That fastball is killer. Takes ball two. That's a big league take right there. It's 2-2. Tomei, ground ball. And they get Tomei at first. What a big out. Gomo arigato. He's got one job. Hit the ball in the outfield. And he does just that, but explodes that ball off the fence. And the game is tied off of Gomo Arigato's RBI double off the left field wall. Ahmed Khan. 1 out. Ground ball to the first baseman. Pitcher scoops it up. Gets the second out. And Mike Piazza comes up. 2 outs. Go ahead run on third. His job is to get a base hit here. Foul ball. And with Piazza's speed, it's going to mean he's going to have to be a good hit. Strike two. Piazza down 1-2. Strike three, and they get Piazza out. And we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th inning, tied 3-3. So Sosa's triple, Gomo's double, tie the game up. But the Melonheads were unable to take the lead. And we saw the aluminum bat flash up. That would have ended the game. But instead, they get the out at first. That is a huge relief for the Melonheads. Oh my goodness. We saw that bat color turn, and that was it. Whew. That was probably their double play power up too. Fly ball, right field, Ahmed makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Can the Melonheads force extra innings? Strike one. Strike two. Sosa gets the call on the low pitch. And the Fang pitch gets the strikeout, and we are headed to extra innings. Can you believe it? After trailing 3-2 for most of the game, the Melonheads score 1 in the 6th and have shut the Angels out from the 2nd inning on. Sosa comes in and pitches outs when needed to. And so we head to the top of the 7th here in the World Series. Tied at 3. Tony, Pedro, Ichiro up for the Melonheads. Tony Del Vecchio leading them off. Fly ball, shortstop, makes the catch. Pedro Martinez takes ball one. Pedro's probably going back to force the pitcher to make pitches. 2-0. You can't let Pedro on off of a walk here. No way. 3-0 is the count. Pedro absolutely has a red light here. Strike one. I think even now he still has a red light. Strike two. Full count. Pedro rips that to the shortstop. Bobbles it. And Pedro is on. Which leads to Ichiro being up now. Pedro steals second. Got a little nervous there. But Pedro's aboard on second now. Strike one to Ichiro. Ichiro lays down the bunt, but it's foul. Takes ball 2-2. Ichiro, ground ball to the shortstop. And Ichiro is aboard.
Settling into the box.
And so Dante Robinson is up now. Robinson lays down the bunt. And he's going to get aboard. And this is trouble for the Angels. Bases loaded, 1 out, Sammy Sosa up.
Ball to come to you.
This is a nightmare scenario for the Angels. Sosa, ground ball! Over to second, not in time! And Sosa does absolutely what's necessary. They can't get the out at second, and a run scores. The Melonheads lead 4-3. Tomei up, bases loaded, 1 out. Tomei destroys that ball. It's got a chance. It's off the fall. They're gonna send him home. It's a 3-run double for Jim Tomei. Can you believe it?
At that now, we've got Boom Boom.
Gomo Arigato up. The Melonheads lead 7-3. And Melonhead fans are starting to believe this might be it. Gomo! Gone! A home run! Gomo Arigato! With a 2-run emphasis home run. To put his team up 9-3 here in the potentially clinching World Series game. And Melonhead fans are starting to really believe it. Ahmed blasts that to left field. These Melonhead bats have woken up here in the 7th. They want this.
Settling into the boxes.
Mike
Mike Piazza.
Piazza. Swings past strike 1. And just as how the inning started. Piazza, shortstop, caught.
Running, and makes the over.
And that is the 2nd out. Mercifully the 2nd out.
Watch the way this kid rips that bat.
Tony Del Vecchio. And there goes Ahmed. Ahmed steals second. Del Vecchio rips that to left field. Dropped.
They pull a run out.
And another run scores for the Melonheads.
Settling into the box.
Man.
Will Martinez.
And there goes Tony, and he's up there easily. Easily steals second. There goes Tony again, and he steals third. And Pedro strikes out swinging, and the inning finally ends.
It's time for the 7th inning.
So the Melonheads score 7 in the 7th inning. And they now lead 10-3 over the Angels, and they can just about taste victory.
Stepping up to the plate, Judy Abwanza.
Angels top 3 are up 1-2-3. Starting off with Abwanza, who has just destroyed the Melonheads with her bat so far. And Pedro can't make the play. And Abwanza's aboard again.
Boxes, Ricky Johnson.
Ricky Johnson up next. There goes Abwanza on the stolen base. It's going to get past. They will not test Ichiro's arm, but they're going to send Abwanza home. Dante the cutoff. Not in time.
All about scoring runs, Sonny.
And that's an RBI single for Ricky Johnson. There he goes. Piazza with the throw, not in time. And can you believe it? These Angels are not going down quietly. Strike 2. Ground ball. Dante can't get it. And they're going to give up the run to second. Not good.
Sonny, batting sure is different from fielding, but these kids have to be good at both. Let's
Sosa's got to barrel down here and get 3 outs. Ground ball. Turns out to be the crazy bunt. And they're going to wave him over to third. And they score 2.
Good.
Now batting, Arlene Perez.
10-4 now.
Pitch.
Ground ball up the middle. Sosa can't cleanly get it, but still gets the out. And that's the first out of the inning.
Settling into the boxes, Stacy Gordon. It's a strike.
Strike 1. And this is exactly why the Melonheads wanted as many runs as possible.
Here it comes.
Ichiro dives but can't get there, and it's an RBI single. It is 10-7 now.
Stepping up to the plate, Zenon
Just like that, the Angels are making this a game.
Runners go.
Tries to steal second. Piazza throw, not in time.
Pitch.
Sosa doesn't really care about that base runner.
Pitch was hit it all the way to the bitter end. Unless the coach swaps him out, of course.
Here it comes.
Strike 2.
Checks the runner.
And so the question here might be, who's next for the mound? Sosa gets a strikeout for the second out of the inning.
Settling into the boxes, Artie Pimpleton.
But he is 1 out away.
You're up there at the plate. You've only got 2 choices.
Strike 1.
A screen.
Ground ball, shortstop. Pedro fields it over to first, and he makes the final out of the ball game. And the Melonheads win 10-7. Can you believe it? And the Melonheads are your World Series champs. And the Melonheads are your World Series champions. Can you believe it? On a season with so many ups and downs for the Melonheads, they are finally crowned World Series champions. It got a little dicey there at the end of Game 3, but the Melonheads pull it off. And there they are, enjoying themselves. World Series champions. And what a team it was. It took a team effort there towards the end, and you were worried that they might not be able to pull it off. Oof. And so the Melonheads claim victory over the Angels in the World Series in 3 games. And the final lineup looked to be Ichiro, Dante Robinson, Sammy Sosa, Jim Thome, Gomu Arigato, Ahmed Khan, Mike Piazza, Tony Rovecchio, and Pedro Martinez. And shine on the diamond, World Series champ sparkle and jewel of a series. Cola flows like a river through the dugout as players spritz each other after winning the coveted title of Backyard World Series champions. We did it, we really did it. And a well-deserved championship title for the Melonheads. Now, as we get ready to prepare the World Series MVP trophy, we're going to go over a few awards before we get there. So our playoff MVP goes to Ichiro Suzuki for his on-base percentage and leading the team in runs scored, stolen bases, and on-base percentage. So here in the playoffs, Ichiro batted .480, 12 hits, 9 runs scored, 17 stolen bases, slugging .520. The slugging percentage isn't great, but you love the on-base percentage. The Best Fielder Award is going to go to Ahmed Khan. Ahmed Khan wins the Playoff Fielder's Choice Award. Absolutely well-deserved. And the moment you've all been waiting for. The Playoff Series MVP Award. Goes to Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez is your World Series MVP. Ichiro wins the playoff MVP. Pedro wins the World Series MVP. Pitching two complete game wins in Game 1 and 2. Struggled a little bit in Game 3, but got the job done when it was needed. And so your Melonheads have done it. They are World Series champions. So looking at the overall records, Ichiro was 5th in the league in singles. Sosa led the league in home runs with 12. Tomei was 3rd with 10. Sosa led the league in RBIs with 34. Stolen bases was all Ichiro and Dante. They ended up not having a single person on the error list, which is good to see. Pedro led the league with 2 complete games, 3 complete games in the playoffs, which is absolutely wild. Finishes 5th in most home runs allowed, which isn't great, but you expected that with Pedro. Shutouts. Him and Claire Nelson were the only ones with complete game shutouts. And so for the team, not on batting average or hits or singles, wow. For an explosive offense like the Melonheads, you would think they'd be on some of these lists. They tied for the league lead in home runs with 38. Second in terms of runs scored, second in RBIs. Led the league in stolen bases by a hefty amount. Second in the league in errors, which isn't great. Had the best ERA in the league, though. That's awesome to see. Pitchers got it done when needed. 2 complete games. 12 wins. So for a team that struggled quite often, they ended up having a heck of a season. And so there you have it. The Melonheads are World Series champions. This has been the Backyard Baseball season for the Melonheads. It's been a pleasure all season giving you coverage on this Melonhead team. And they emerge as World Series champions. World Series champions for the Melonheads. Unbelievable for an unbelievable season. Thank you all so much for being here. We will see you all in the next one as the Melonheads, World Series champions. See you later, ya Melonheads. Mic drop.